Hi there, this is Artsy Wisdom. My name's Diane. Thank you for coming by. Hello to all my new subscribers. Hello to my old subscribers and lovely people that stop by just for a visit. Thank you. I'm going to continue with this sort of 2025 energetic kind of predictions, but more about the energies that are happening in 2025 all over the world and images that I'm getting. Wow. I just wanted to clarify some things. Still got the frog in my throat. I think I'd be over it by now. I started this channel less than 2 years ago. And I did that because I saw that we as a people, as humans, could find this connection spiritually between each other. And I have this deep faith and spiritual belief that we're all connected as humans. And I thought if I could share that or help people, that would be good. And we all experience these things as humans on this planet, this 3D planet, but we're all connected. I believe we're all fractions of light and we're all connected. The thing is, regardless of what you believe, what faith you have, what religion you follow, or maybe even if you're an atheist, I believe the light energies, the spiritual beings, angels, the God light, your ancestors, ascended masters, the Christ, Buddha, etc., any of those higher level beings are here. And all of the things that we all experience is the one giant musical composition. And I feel like it's always happening every moment while we're here right now. So as a hypnotherapist and a tarot card reader, an astrologer, and an artist, I also channel and I get into people's energies. And people, places, things. So that's where I go when I'm doing these predictions. I get these, images or sensations or colors or feelings, whatever they are. And I'm drawn to different parts of the world or different political things that are going on because I think the energy is there. The energy is there for a lot of us because there's a lot of fear and anxiety right now. So I do that. And I'm sometimes... And sometimes they're related to food and desserts and things because I like to bake, and that's, not a crime, right? Curious. I call them experiments because I don't know when they're going to be accurate. I'm trying to do my best and get into the channel, the people, the places, big picture stuff, because I pull back and I see these kind of weird stuff and I have to figure it out. And so I'm trying to decipher it and I bring it to you. I am authentically bringing to you, and I don't want to say bearing my soul, but I'm trying to be my authentic self and sharing this image with you. I have the best wishes and respect for all. That's my goal here, is to bring a little light to the world. And like I said, we're all connected, whether we like it or not. Some people we don't like and some people we do. We're all part of it. So what you feel, I feel, in small fractions here and there. And I appreciate you guys if you have something you want to correct me with, because sometimes I'm kind of going by the seat of my pants and I'm seeing things and somebody corrected me. Many people corrected me about several things, which is fine. As long as you're kind and respectful, I'm okay with that. Many people corrected me because I was trying to think of the ocean between the UK and Canada, America on the East Coast. And for whatever reason, I said the Pacific. I wasn't sure, but I knew it was Atlantic. I knew that, but I was moving forward. Let it go. I didn't edit or anything. But the point is, that's fine. As long as you're kind and respectful. That's okay. But when I go into someone's energy, like remote viewing, I get what they're feeling in that day. A lot of times it changes because people change every day, whoever they are, you and I, free will and all that. I wanted to take my ego out of it and be as open-minded. The thing is, we're all perfect in God's eyes. We're all part of the same fabric. We're all part of the Cuckoo Bananas Fruit Loops thing that was going on. We're all part of it. And some of us, are over here in the corner. Some people are right in the middle and doing all the yelling. So over time, I started to get into people's energies, say Trump or GOP or Musk or Putin or whoever it is. And I saw or I felt what they were seeing. And So I started to realize that certain things I can't accept. Certain behaviors, certain thoughts they affect all of us in a really negative way sometimes. I know I might have an opinion about, government and conservative or whatever, but I find that I have to say what I see and feel, and if I believe it's not good or wrong or unhealthy for general humanity or the US. So I hope you'll understand that. Black versus white, not race, but just in general, like a metaphor. Republicans versus Democrats, or liberals versus MAGA, or woke versus whatever, LGBTQ, versus, I don't know, intolerance. I don't know what the other opposite. But one day we'll be able to disagree respectively. And I do want you to think about this, is that a lot of times the other group, quote unquote group, has a lot of things in common with you. But we are so divided, or can be so divided, that we don't even want to see it because everybody's so angry. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but let's just think about maybe there is something of value. There's a lot of overlap in our worlds, us humans. So I kind of was all over there, but I just wanted to share that with you. And thank you again for coming by. And then let's get started with all of my different energies for 2025. All right, let's get started on some of the questions that I had from viewers. A couple people had asked me about, or corrected me, and I was wrong. Denmark is not Dutch. Netherlands is Dutch. And stroopwafel it's a Dutch thing, and it's from the Netherlands. In Denmark, people are called Danes. There you go. And I found out that Greenland is a Denmark province, and they have been for 300 plus years. It's crazy. They had their anniversary in 2021. Now, I think somebody had asked if they were going to be independent anytime soon, within the next decade. I did look at that about Greenland being independent because I was talking about it at the last video, and I do see that within 10 years. I feel like 5 or 6 maybe. I feel them separating from Denmark and getting on their own. I know some people, what I read, many people want it, many people don't. It used to be more popular, and I don't know if people felt like they would lose some of their benefits by being part of the Denmark government. So somebody had asked about Iceland, and it's kind of a funny thing. Not funny, haha, but I saw this white box around Iceland. Okay, let's think about that. Ice is white, right? Generally. But it didn't feel like ice. It felt like a translucent, not transparent, but translucent, like you can kind of see vaguely inside of it. But it was a big glass material type thing, and it was way up high, and it boxed in the whole country. And I likened it to, I was trying to get into the energy of that, and I felt like it was something about really getting to be a hard line on immigration. I could be wrong, of course, but I felt like it was more they were trying to control things. And I know Iceland's become a really popular place to travel to. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's about travel. I feel like it's something maybe it's hard line because of the box. But why would it be white, except for the word ice on Iceland? But it felt like they were being very protectionist this year. Maybe this is something they're working on, their policies for what they give asylum to, maybe. I don't know. Harder boundaries, yeah. Somebody had asked me, they're thinking about, or Pakistan, is it safe? I saw some bombings in cities, and maybe with cars. And I also saw they were asking about the UAE or Qatar, or either one of those safe, kind of and I saw the UAE, United Arab Emirates, very quiet, very quiet. The edges are starting to get infiltrated, and I don't know what that means. If there's people moving from another country bordering it, at the end of 2025, I wrote my notes because that's yesterday. Some news. Okay, there's going to be some news at the end of 2025. It felt like they're going to make some sort of announcement, or they're going to come up with a border plan between countries, some country. That's UAE. Qatar. I saw a lot of secret. Oh, before I move on, UAE, I genuinely would not go. Somebody asked me if they should move there, and I said, no, I don't think so. Qatar, they asked if they were safe, and I saw secretive stuff, a lot of rich people behind the scenes planning different industries, which of course all countries have that, but this is more of a minor group, a very small group of wealthy people, and it's secretive. It's like, well, if we can grow this here, and we're all getting our, I don't know if it, I'm sure it's about money, but part of it is helping the country in general, but more about their bottom line, their wealth. But I felt secretive. It felt like a bunch of men in rooms. Oh, well, and I did see that maybe it connects to terrorism at some point. So this might be why it's so secretive. But it doesn't feel like it's point blank, but it's something with an industry where it might get embedded with a little terrorism down the road. So somebody asked, they thought if I'm a Canadian resident, how, because I said that in the past, I'm a permanent resident. I got my Canadian permanent residency 2-3 years ago because of my husband. And so it saves us, if we're common law, there you go, out in the open, because of different things. It's just easier for us to do it this way because we met later in life, and that works for us. Works for a lot of people, I know that. Somebody had asked about Polyev because I do see Trudeau leaving. Oh, and then somebody today asked if Trudeau's a con artist. I don't feel like he is. I feel like he's just a politician. That's the feeling I get. I don't, they always shave off a little here or try to, manipulate. All politicians do, everywhere, all the time. But Polyev, I looked into what he might do in the future. And, somebody complained that I had said that taxpayers pay for the health care. Their money goes into a fund and the government disperses it, whatever those funds are. Yes, it's delegated to healthcare, but there are different flexible, I think, more pots that I'm not talking about healthcare specifically, but I did see that there's a pot of money that the conservatives want to access. And I don't think it's like sneaky money or anything like that. I just feel like they're wanting to change the money funding around and privatizing. They're looking into that hardcore in a lot of different areas in Canada. I feel like they might try some tax rebates for businesses or helping businesses grow. And they are going to put a lot of money, or I see them putting money into transportation, like airlines, in the defense budget, and they're trying to lower taxes somewhere. So they're helping lower the taxes. Maybe it's for the businesses, but they're also putting money in the defense because I feel like Canada doesn't have huge defense budget, not like the States, which is like crazy big. But yeah. Oh, and I wrote down here, Jimmy Carter passed away today or last night. He was 100, the peanut farmer. I remember in high school, he was not well respected because in general, I was in high school. So the feeling was he was weak, and he accomplished a lot of things in office, but the kidnapped, the people that were taken hostage in the Middle East, I think it was Iran or Iraq. Anyway, they wanted somebody stronger. It kind of reminds me of the Biden thing right now, and then people wanting a strong, powerful leader. that they perceive that Trump is. And just another side note, because Reagan got in after Carter, won by a landslide. And then they let all the hostages go right away because they were scared of him. Somebody asked about deportations. I had seen that before. They're going to start like with, it feels like a flurry. Maybe not necessarily as big as they want, but it'll feel like a flurry. There'll be a lot of noise and they need attention about it. So I feel like that's going to happen. But then it'll recede really quick. And then they're going to be finding the gang members or the cherry picking of the people that need to be deported more. There will be stories and sadness and that kind of stuff. But I looked into the White House right now, like what's happening there, because this is a dilemma for me, because I've seen a couple other psychic people as saying the election won't get certified. And you guys, I'm not going to tell you stuff that I don't see. I just won't. I'd rather just tell you what I see, and if I'm wrong, great, because I would be happy if that was the case. Probably, depending. But I see the back of the White House. There's some dark rooms. It's very quiet. It's not quite sad. It feels like it's the end of the party. Like everybody's cleaning up. It's 3:00 in the morning and they're all picking up everything. And so that's the feeling I'm getting. And I don't see them finding. Let me just pick a couple of cards. Let me see if I'm wrong. How about that? Let's see if I am wrong about not certifying the election. Or something they're going to find. Some state. Did I see something about Nevada? Wasn't accurate. They got a bunch of people off the rolls that shouldn't have been the election. And yeah, Republicans are very organized in the states. They find ways to, I respect organization. They have long-term goals and they're willing to, but at the same time, we don't want cheating, obviously. 10 of Cups and the Empress and Ace of Cups. Maybe I'm wrong. If it's coming from the perspective of the Democrats or the people that didn't vote for Trump, it would be a beautiful thing. The 10 of Cups is one of the happiest cards there is, and look at all the sunshine and rainbows and sunflowers and family, happy family. Empress is about growing and making things real, and the Empress is the mother figure. Could be Kamala. I don't feel her energy is strong, though. I don't feel like I'm sure she's working on stuff, but I don't feel that they're doing anything in the background, just waiting to unveil it. What I do feel I feel there could be something where that information they found out with Nevada or Texas or whatever it is, they're sending that to the Congress. And the Congress will eventually have to create bills that will protect the electorate, protect the election. That is federal rules versus just the states, because the states have their own different election, not rules per se, but how they do it, the process, the machines, the different things. So the federal rules, I think, are going to change a little bit. That is going to go into that, feed into that machine, the congressional machine. So, and the Republicans want honest rules too, I believe. So, because they don't want to have to question everything. And then there's the Ace of Cups. Lovers, yes, I think it's going to get certified. I don't see any difference, guys. Looks like they've got it under control. Now, the last video I did see that Trump is, right before the inauguration, he spins like he's having a dizzy spell and he can't gain control. He's just like falls around. And now I'm into his energy, and today's the 30th, new moon in Capricorn too, by the way. If you want to create something, discipline, commitment, responsible. Something like a new diet would be a perfect day to start that. I know it's New Year, but so it is pretty good timing. But yeah, starting something new and tangible, something you want to build, something concrete that you can commit to. That's today. That would be a good day to start that. But now I saw him after the inauguration, or right then and there, right? Like, here's the inauguration, here's the road. And in the past, I saw him twirling and going over here. Now I see him, whenever you watch wrestling, the wrestlers take somebody and they throw them over their shoulders and slam them on the ground or the thing, the ring, and hit the ground, and they jump on them and do that. I saw that like he was creating a sideshow, a wrestling thing, and maybe this is about distraction. Because I know in the past, I think he in his head, he wants to make a reality show. He wants pretty people and people that can be characters in a show. So I think it may be a distraction. Right now, there is something I feel like right around the time of the inauguration, something happens that they're going to be having to cause, look over here, don't look at this, look over here. That's the feeling I get right now. But it was like a wrestling match. Anyway, just wanted to say that. And if it doesn't get certified, great. So then somebody had asked about France, and this is kind of a funny thing. In the past, I always see France and England going back and forth over time, different ways, different means. But I see Macron in back rooms, his feet coming out from under him, because I know the right wing is getting more power, more positions in the parliament, I think it is. So he doesn't have his feet under him. They're getting kicked out. But I also saw that him working with Trump together, somehow, some way. And there's some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement they come up with. It must be soon, because I know they're going to probably get another election here after a while. But I also saw, if I'm looking at France, you guys are backwards, so down here in the southeast part of France, I see kind of not good, like I want to say crime or some bad things happening. Southeast part of France, down here, I saw lots of X's and like agitated things. And then I also saw, as you're looking at, and I think Belgium is like right up here. Say this is France. Belgium is up here. I saw, when I'm thinking about Macron, I feel like there's a circular thing he's doing. He's making this motion where he's kind of he's trying to circle Belgium or bring it in. And again, I see images and I decipher them. Perhaps he wants more of a unified vision for the two countries. And I know I know Belgium's very proud, so are French, and their languages are somewhat different and different things. So, but I feel like France is really trying to gather them, like circle. I see a circle going around it. I don't know what that means exactly. Maybe you guys can tell me. Again, the big shift west of the UK or the British Isles, it's that way, the UK, Great Britain. There's two different things. So the continental shift between Canada and in the North Atlantic, or the Labrador Sea, I saw that, or a little south of there in that area. And I also saw that kind of wall. We've got the main part of England, Great Britain, which it has Scotland and Wales here. I see that along Wales and Ireland part, this kind of wall of a boundary. And I don't know, now that I've been thinking about it, I thought maybe it has to do with that shift and maybe some land, I don't think it would be a tsunami. It feels like land. It feels more of a wall. It feels more meaty. It feels more like uneven and bumpy. So if it's not political, somebody told me they're all unified and it's not political. So I feel like there's something pushback. There's something happening there. It could be physical then. Oh yeah, so the France thing where I told you in the darker section on the bottom right of it, it feels sectioned off, like somehow. And now when France is connected to Germany up here, or near Germany, I felt like something else is happening there on their border. I don't know if it's blizzards or weather or something, but it's like a big problem they're going to have up there. France, I wrote this down. So France feels more isolated on purpose. Trump and Macron work together. Belgium, saw that. And then somebody, I think I mentioned stroopwafels are not from Denmark. They're Dutch from the Netherlands. So corrected there. And which, regardless, they're delicious. Everybody knows that. They're so yummy. Now, South Africa, somebody had asked me about South Africa. Now, when I look at the horn at the bottom of South Africa, I felt, as they do, I see tons of ships going around there. Of course they would, because that's the landmass. You got to go around. But I feel like it's more, there's some sort of industry or some sort of increased traveling right there. And I don't know why. I feel like it's closer to the land, like it's just an increase. There's still a lot of ships and they're still going through, but I feel like there's something increasing right there. And I don't know if it has to do with the Panama Canal thing or the problem. It shouldn't, because they're not even in the same hemisphere. I think Panama Canal is in Central America. Yeah. So it's not even close to there, but I don't know. That's what I saw. And somebody asked me about the Philippines. I know there was just recently 3 plane crashes. But I don't know if there's an airport on the coast of the Philippines. I'm just saying, I feel like there might be one way that's close to the edge of the Philippines that might be vulnerable to something. And then I felt like the water around it, there's something being dumped or can be or will be around Philippines in the water. Now, I feel like the people are very wonderful and good and kind people, but it's an industry thing or a company, or maybe it's chemicals that I feel like they're not aware as much as they're doing. And I feel like that's going to be an ongoing issue that they're going to have to deal with in the Philippines or around the Philippines. Someone asked me if the far right was going to get more entrenched in Europe in general. And I said, yes, like everywhere else it is. Canada and the States, it is. It's just going to do it. It's like it, but I see it as like polka dotty, not like a big sweep. But I do feel like it's like a little circle that grows like that. So in little pockets. And I do feel like Germany will have more far right, and France actually. Italy does. They have that woman prime minister, but she was super far right, but she's actually turned out what I read. And it might not be up to date, where she's not as bad as they thought she was going to be. And actually she's doing okay. But yeah, France, and that's that part on the bottom. It's not good. Like crime or something not good down there. And, it's not so much about the far right, but there's, I don't know, violence, that kind of stuff. Mark Rutte, he's the Secretary General of the NATO, and he was the PM, Prime Minister of Netherlands for 14 years. I don't know, somebody was correcting me about, I don't know if you mentioned him in that channel, in this video, but maybe it was another one. I was trying to remember how to pronounce his name. And I had seen him he went to Mar-a-Lago, and I saw his energies very, like a little, very excitable. He's got a lot of ideas and he wants to make sure. And he's very proactive guy. That's how I feel. And he's smart, really, really smart. Somebody had asked about ET's energy supporting Dems or Republicans. No such thing. I don't think that's at all. I think they do what they do and they're coming and going. I feel like they will be more visible because we are going to be more on a higher level or more evolved over time. We're going to be able to sense them, or be able to have the technology to actually pick up them. Because I think a lot of them are invisible. They aren't seen, and there might just be a blob of movement in the air or in the space. And I feel like we'll get more and more close to be able to sense them or see them or that kind of thing. Maybe not this year, but in the next few years. Is somebody asked if Musk would be escaping in 2025 to Russia? I do think he talks to them a lot, but I don't think he's escaping. I know somebody had said, one of the channels had said he's in trouble. Maybe he is. I don't feel like he is. But now, okay, let's get to our MAGA versus the tech billionaires. It looks like Trump is siding with the tech people about the H-1B visa. Oh yeah, this Ryan Macbeth, I think his name is. He is a ex-military guy who was in worked in high level of intelligence, and so he has this channel, and I learn a lot from him. He doesn't do a lot of politics, but he explained how the H-1B visas really help us, our companies in the States, have other people to put towards defense. If we didn't allow these people from outside the States to come, the skilled labor, or skilled engineers to come, we wouldn't be able to fill all these positions. So they're really, really helpful. He also said a lot of Americans take it early, but kind of give up in school. He said the East Indians, they just plow through and they learn the hard stuff. And so they don't give up. Americans tend to just go into IT, he said. And he was very straightforward about it. And they're more engineers, different. I don't know exactly. So again, area I don't know. But he said, very good. It's very important. And the tech people say the same thing. And Trump is siding with them at this point. So how is this MAGA fight inside the MAGA world, the rights, the conservatives versus, the tech people? We want all American. We want, maybe brown people are scary or something. Anyway, that will, I feel as if it's settled at the moment. I feel as if they've gotten, I see Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon with spreadsheets. I've seen this many times. They've got lots of spreadsheets. I'm sure they're on computers, but I see papers. And they're writing all the areas where they're going to cut, or they want to make it more efficient or lean or whatever you want to. And the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, they want to create. And yeah, Musk is not a citizen, or I mean, he wasn't born here, but he can work in the administration as an advisor. And I think that's what the plan is somehow. But like I said, he's going to be on the edges. He's not. Eventually, they're going to have a falling out. And his skills will be out here, communicating with other countries or other liaison between things that Americans or the public won't be aware of, because he won't be paid by the government. He is going to be, I don't think because he makes so much money, whatever he decides or helps do with these companies is going to make him money. He's not in it. He's not altruistic. These billionaires, all these people they're putting in place, it's not for the greater good, although they can tell themselves that. Maybe there's a few that saying we're creating jobs and that sort of thing, which may very well be true. Businesses grow, people get hired, and that works. So maybe that is true. But I think for him, per se, his energy is about protecting his assets and growing them, because he sees it. I feel this deep, drive, I see it. It's right there, and all I have to do is keep doing this. Yeah. So, but I think over time he'll spend less and less time with Trump, only seeing him periodically. He'll have his own agenda, and they'll give him his own job. He will not be getting along with a lot of the Trump staff, the cabinet. I think there's going to be a lot of fighting in that regard. But MAGA has more power at the moment, but Trump sided with tech. So I think it's starting to split. I think the MAGA movement is starting to show its little fractures more and more. And then water seeps in and it rusts and things decay. You know how that goes. And I said that earlier. We might have overlapping desires. We want businesses to hire. We want that all to happen. But that part is good. But keeping out immigrants for just immigrants' sake. Somebody was complaining, all the millions of immigrants that have been let in, committing crimes, and he's finally going to stop something. There was no solid plan, and they made the plan to receive immigrants who are coming for asylum, hire judges to adjudicate all of them so they could go back until it was done instead of letting them in the country. But they put the kibosh on that so Trump could say he did it. That's real. So yes, something needs to be done. Let's all agree on that. Something needs to be done. So it's not one or the other. It's not black or white. Yes, something needs to be done. Okay? Hopefully it'll work out in the long run after all this mess. Yeah, money, the fracturing. Oh yeah, Steve Bannon and Nikki Haley on the MAGA side. Can't believe it. They're saying, yeah, Steve Bannon is, and Musk, I think it'll be, well, maybe one day they might get along now that I think about it. But right now they're butting heads. Oh, I wanted to say this quickly. I channeled Alexi Navelny briefly, and because he's passed away now, and gosh, it's been a year, 2 years? No, a year, because I was doing the channel when he died. So I feel like he's around his kids. This boy, his son, I feel like he's feisty like him, and I feel like he's got that energy that his father had, and his mother's very, Navalny's wife is doing all the good things too, but they have the kids hidden somehow or some way. They're sequestered, so they're out of harm's way. I feel that, and he's worried. Navalny's around them, his boy mostly, which is interesting. Not so much because I think he has a daughter, but maybe she's somewhere else. I don't know. But I also feel like he's whispering into ears of some Russian leaders or people that make decisions, smaller or lower staff people around Putin, or maybe even Putin's people or oligarchs, whatever they are. But I see him whispering into their ears. So he feels very good that he's doing something on the other side, and he almost feels like he can do more there, even though he started here and he started the big push for independence and, to get rid of Putin. But independence isn't the right word, but getting rid of Putin. But he created the baseline, the foundation. Now I feel like he's continuing his work on the other side. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that. And yeah, I think, and then someone asked me about Mike Johnson. Well, I don't, now that Trump has given him the blessing to stay on as the speaker, because they have to certify the election by the 6th, I believe. And if somebody isn't in there, if they have to have a vote and they can't decide, the election won't get certified, or the votes won't be put in place that they have to get. So he's letting him stay, and he's giving him the blessing for now. So originally I saw him gone with the first week or two, but now I think next month. And what is the other one? Oh, Matt Gaetz, will he be indicted? Down the road. I think his crimes were in Florida. So I think it'll be down the road, but not anytime soon. A couple years, 3 years, 4 years time in Fruit Loops. That's what I feel like. We're all living in a giant cereal bowl of crazy, but we're going to get through it. Oh, Zimbabwe. I forgot about that. Somebody asked about Zimbabwe, or I looked at Zimbabwe. Nobody asked about it, but I saw Fighting in Sadness. I feel like it's very sad there, and I don't even know what is happening there, but that's the feeling I got. All right, people. Thank you for coming by. I love that you made it this far, if you did. Thank you to all my new subscribers. And yeah, keep giving me suggestions and questions. I love it. Take care.